G'day everyone, and welcome to this top 5, bottom 5, something 5 list of should have been on the album. Now, if you've been tracking along with this channel the last year or so, or even if you've been one of the subscribers from the very beginning, you'll know that the whole idea of this channel is to look at songs that should have been, maybe, on the album. B-sides or rare tracks that never quite made the cut. And that's the whole idea of the premise of this channel. In 2023, I decided that I would make a real concerted effort to release a long form video every 2 weeks and a shorts video of sort of like a single that maybe should have been released from the album every off week as well. So that makes a total of around about 50 videos that I've put out this year. Now, I am just doing this as a hobby. It is not a professional program by any means. But what I do love is the fact that I've got people out there like you guys watching this now who have liked, subscribed, commented, sent me emails, and I'm so thankful for that. If you're somebody who's checking out this video and this channel for the first time, welcome, and I would love for you to like, subscribe, comment, follow, and just join me on this journey. The more, the merrier. So this video is a top 5 video, a top 5 ranking of my videos from 2023 and maybe even going back a little bit further to the very beginning. I'm doing this totally off script. I'm not going to be following a prompt or anything like that. I've certainly learned a lot of stuff this year in making these videos, and hopefully they've got a little bit better over the time. Certainly when I look back at my first one, which was Warrant's Thin Disguise, I've definitely come a long way. I think I've got better, and hopefully that's reflecting in the likes and your comments and people checking out the videos as well. All right, so what we're going to do, first one, we're going to look at the top 5 ranking videos that I've released since the beginning. Yeah, I know I said 2023, but let's go right back to the beginning. And at number 5, we have On Broken Wings by Europe. On Broken Wings by Europe is one of my favorite B-sides. It was actually part of the original list that I had put together to share with you out there. It's a cracker of a track, and it really should have been on the Final Countdown album. And thankfully, people out there also agree with me. In recent years, Europe has also started introducing it back into their set list, particularly as they're celebrating quite a long career now, and it's brilliant that they're doing it. On Broken Wings is a cracker of a song and really does bridge the gap between the Wings of Tomorrow sound and the more polished sound of the Final Countdown. If you don't know the song, definitely check it out. It's worth a look. Coming in at number 4 is Zalia by Foreigner. Now, this was a track that I didn't even know existed myself until somebody pointed it out to me, and I did a little bit of research, and there was a outtake from their Head Games album. Head Games is an album that sort of divides the fan base. Some people say it's not quite to the standard of the previous albums, while others say, look, you've got songs like Head Games on there, songs like Women, songs like Dirty White Boy that really sort of help elevate it up into a higher echelon of album. For my part, Zalia is a song that should have been on the album. The album as a whole doesn't have any ballads, and I think Zalia would have been a great inclusion. Yeah, it's a little bit on the short side, but that doesn't really matter. I think it would have been a great precursor to certainly where rock bands and hard rock bands went in the future in the 80s by including a ballad as part of the album structure. So for me, Zalia should have been on there. Coming in at number 3 as the most popular video on should have been on the album is Poison's Gotta Face the Hangman. When it came time to do Poison, I had 2 B-sides that I wanted to do, either Livin' for the Minute or Gotta Face the Hangman, and I sort of juggled backwards and forwards as to which one to include. What was interesting is in my research for Open Up and Say Ah, Living for the Minute does pop up a little bit, but the one that doesn't come out as much was Gotta Face the Hangman, and that's why I went for it. Gotta Face the Hangman, I feel, also is the better of the 2 songs. Living for the Minute is a little bit, it's fine, it's good, it's a good song, but it just doesn't quite have the punch that Gotta Face the Hangman has. And certainly, you guys out there who have watched the video agree with me on that as well. Gotta Face the Hangman does have some lyrics that not even I can decipher. I'm not sure what Bret Michaels was actually trying to sing, but maybe that's why it was a B-side. It wouldn't be the first time that a song was relegated to a B-side because the lyrics were, well, undecipherable. And while the song is a great song, I don't think it was good enough to put on the album. Open Up and Say is a classic from end to end. And I think to mess with the overall feel of the album would be missing just the flow and the vibe of it. Coming in at number 2 is Silver Blue by Roxette. I remember getting this song on a Cass single way back when I was a teenager on the flip side of The Look, and thought, this is a really nice song. I really like the drum vibes of the whole thing, and I really enjoyed the song structure of it. It was really good. And even though it says demo on the actual Cass single, I felt that it should have been polished and put on the album. This was also another song where there were other B-sides and other outtakes that I could have looked at, and some of you guys out there actually commented on that, which was great, and maybe I'll be able to get to them in the future. But for me, Silver Blue was a no-brainer. If it had been polished and just finished off a little bit, it definitely deserved a spot on Look Sharp. And coming in at number 1, the biggest video on my entire channel, it's Crossing Over by Van Halen. I have to be honest, when I did this video, I was expecting, the standard 100, 200 sort of views, but suddenly it blew up. It went completely nuts. And I have to say thank you to the 200 subscribers out there who came and watched that video and said, you know what, I like what this guy's doing, let's subscribe and follow along. The Van Halen crowd came in with vengeance, and they were awesome. I did screw up in the original video where I flipped the words around and I said one of the albums was Children and Women First. And I got a little bit of flack for that. Yeah, look, I own that. I'm human. I make mistakes. That's totally okay. It is women and children first. I totally screwed that up. But the feedback for the video was overwhelmingly positive. I got other YouTube channels, the Van Halen YouTube channel, Johnny Bean's Van Halen channel. Thank you to you guys for sending some people over my way to check out the video. At last check, this video has had more than 25,000 views. It's probably a bit more now. It just keeps climbing. And it is definitely the top ranking view on Should Have Been on the album. So that's my top 5 for the end of 2023 on the album. You've got On Broken Wings at number 5, Zalia at number 4, Gotta Face the Hangman at number 3, Silver Blue at number 2, and right up at number 1, Rock On Van Halen with Crossing Over. But for the 5 videos that really are getting the looks and the likes and the comments and all that kind of stuff, there are 5 others that are sitting down the bottom of the list. And one of them is a big surprise to me. Now, to be honest, some of these haven't had the time on the channel that other videos have had. And so I've got to take that in consideration. But these are the bottom 5 videos. So let's get into them. At number 5 at the bottom of the list is Man of Miracles by Styx. This was a subscriber request and one that I really enjoyed getting into, discovering that Styx's Man of Miracles actually had 3 versions, and on side 2 at song 1 were 3 completely different songs. And in the video, I did say that I felt the song Unfinished Song, which is not actually an unfinished song, that's just what it's called, should have been the one that graced the album originally. I'm a huge Styx fan. I have lots of their albums, and their backstory is massive as well. And discovering more about the band just made this a no-brainer. I had to do this video. Look, I don't know why it didn't chart, interesting word. I don't know why it didn't get the views that it should have, but you know what? I don't understand the YouTube algorithm either. I don't think many of us do. And after all, I'm doing this for a bit of fun and hopefully for people out there to just shed a bit of light on the songs that they love as well. At number 4 is one of my all-time favourites. It's The Final Split by 1927. This is an Australian band, and even when I made the video, I knew it wouldn't get a lot of views, and you know what? That's okay. Part of the reason I started this program and this video channel and this YouTube experience, for want of a better word, was to share my love of these B-sides. And for me, The Final Split is one of the best B-sides that never made it onto an album. 1927 is a band that, sort of fit in the pop rock sort of genre, but are definitely worth checking out. And here in Australia, had a plethora of hits. But The Final Split was one of those songs that I really think should have been on their second album. It's such a heartbreaking ballad. It's beautiful, and it's definitely worth checking out. Number 3 on my bottom list is Mr. Right by In Vertigo. All right, it's another Australian band, and maybe there is, I don't know, maybe there's something to say about that. Maybe the Aussie bands aren't getting the views because, they're not known outside of Australia. But you know what? Who cares? This is about sharing, and certainly you guys out there have had the opportunity to go and find these bands. And if you haven't, certainly do. Please reach out. Go get onto YouTube, type in 1927 and type in Vertigo, and you'll probably see this video pop up as well. Mr. Right was one of those songs that definitely should have been on the album. It's great pop rock, it's great songwriting, it's very pristine in its production, and I still wonder why it didn't go on there. And I think personally there may have been some political bantering backwards and forwards between the band members as to say what songs got on the album, but I'm simply speculating. Number 2 on the bottom ranking is Walking Nerve by The Heights. Alright, this one only just came out a month ago, so it may get some pickup, and that's totally fine. That's great. But you know what? This was another one, and I thought maybe the fact that the song How Do You Talk to an Angel, which was the massive hit, maybe that may have tweaked some memories, but you know what? I don't know. This was one of those original songs on my original list, and I had the Cass single sitting here on my desk for most of the year, just waiting for me to get to the song. And to be honest, I just love the fact that I've had the opportunity to share it with you guys out there. So that brings us to our bottom ranking song, and this is the one that surprises the hell out of me. It is, at the bottom of the list, House of Blue Light by Billy Joel. Alright, confession time. When I made this video, I thought it would go off. I thought this is the one that people will want to hear, and you know what? It didn't. And I don't know why. Maybe you guys can tell me out there. I'm not a YouTube expert. I am simply a noob. I'm just making this stuff up as I go. And I think one of the things that prompted me to actually start this whole program and this channel was the idea of, just start and we'll make it up as we go and we'll get better as we go. And certainly I hope that we have. But House of Blue Light was one of those songs that I thought, you know what, it's Billy Joel. There are heaps of Billy Joel fans out there. And maybe there's something about the video that made it get buried, I don't know. But I would love for you guys to check it out. So here they are again. The top 5 worst performing songs on the channel so far. And they are Man of Miracles by Styx. Not a song, but a whole album. Final Split by 1927. Mr. Right by Vertigo. Walking Nerve by The Heights. And down the bottom, last on the list, is House of Blue Light by Billy Joel. So what are my top 5 favorite ones that I've made? Well, it's kind of like, well, which baby do you like the best? Which family member do you like the best? It's tricky to answer because you guys out there will definitely have your favorites as well. But in no particular order, I would have to say Thin Disguise, the first video I made. Look, it is not perfect. It was the first one, and so the whole structure of the program really hadn't started coming together. I was just finding my way. But as a song, Thin Disguise is an absolute belter of a track. I have to say 1927's Final Split. For me, that goes back to my teenage years, and just the emotional weight of the song is just beautiful and brilliant. Shame by Heat. This is a cracker of a song. If you haven't checked it out, Heat is a great band from Sweden, hard rock, definitely in the classic 80s mold, but are releasing albums now. And Shame is from their Japanese edition of Tearing Down the Walls, an album about 10 years ago or so. And it's definitely worth checking out, and it's one of my favorite B-sides. The next one is Starting All Over Again by Bon Jovi. This was a song that was released as part of the Keep the Faith album in Australia, but it was harder to find elsewhere, and even in re-releases of the Keep the Faith album, it doesn't pop up. There is a different alternate take version on their 100 Million Fans Can't Be Wrong collection of odds and sods, but for my part, the original Starting All Over Again that was on the Keep the Faith album is an absolute belter of a song, and Bon Jovi is hitting some amazing notes, and just the band sounds like they're having the best time ever. And my last one is Just What the Doctor Ordered by Danger Danger. This is a video that I thought no one would watch, but do you know what? You did. You watched it, you commented on it, and a lot of you didn't even know that it existed. And it was on the flip side of the I Still Think About You single. and this song should have been on their album. There are definitely tracks on their Screw It album that weren't so great. Namely, You Know You Want It. Let's get rid of that thing. I don't know what's going on there. But Just What the Doctor Ordered should have been the last song on the album. So there's the top 5 of my favorites so far. Now, in all of these top 5, bottom 5 lists, there is one video that I haven't mentioned, and it's because it got a copyright strike. Yep. My channel got a copyright strike for this particular video, and it got taken down, and I didn't even know. I thought it would be okay, but I've soon learned, and I've learned that there are some artists who really don't like their stuff on YouTube, even if it's a cover version, even if you mention it, even if you do a couple of bars from it. Thanks to several YouTube channels out there who have helped me learn that there are some artists that I need to stay away from. Even though you guys may have requested them, one of them being the Cars, and there are some great Cars B-sides that I would love to get into, I just can't because I know I'm going to get a copyright strike. And here on YouTube, well, that's one thing that I've learned. I don't want a copyright strike. I want to keep doing this, even though it is a critique, even though it's a study. Unfortunately, some artists really don't like it. And whether it's the artist or whether it's their record companies or whether it's someone representing them, I don't know. Who knows? But the one video that I haven't been able to keep up, and actually had 1,500 views, and it would have sat at number 2. It would have been my second most popular video, was Diana by Bryan Adams. Unfortunately, it got a copyright strike around about 3 months ago, and I wasn't allowed to. I even emailed. I emailed 4 times to try and get some sort of answer, to get a correction, but nothing happened. If you were one of the ones who saw it, you were one of the lucky ones, but I haven't been able to upload it, and I don't want to risk another copyright strike because I hope, like you guys, that we can keep this little channel going. So there you go. My top 5, my bottom 5, my favorite 5, and 1 copyright strike. So that's me for this video, checking back over the songs and over the videos of the last couple of years, but mainly from 2023. I want to say thank you to all of you guys out there for checking out this video and my other videos. Thank you to the subscribers. Thank you to those people who are commenting, and thank you to those people who have emailed me with suggestions. I have got an amazing list, and I hope in 2024 I can come back and bring some more songs into your amazing ears and eyes with their stories as well. But until next time, my name is Drew, and you've been watching Should Have Been on the Album. Cheers.